I can to do and be much more helpful for people around and for my family. I try to concentrate on good things, not about the bad.
A story of one family's tenacity and of one community's generosity after the news.
Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Corva Coleman. U.S. says there's evidence North Korea has sent some of its troops to Russia. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin says the U.S. is still gathering information.
What exactly they're doing, left to be seen. These are things that we need to sort out.
Ukraine and South Korea say thousands of North Korean troops have been moved to Russia. The two countries say the North Korean troops will be deployed against Ukrainian troops in the battlefield. The Israeli military says it has killed a presumed successor to the leader of Hezbollah, Hassan Nasrallah. Hezbollah has confirmed the report. Nasrallah was killed earlier this month by an Israeli airstrike. The news comes as Secretary of State Antony Blinken visits Saudi Arabia. He's continuing the Biden administration push for a ceasefire in Lebanon and in Gaza, although no movement on ceasefire talks has been seen. The election is fewer than 2 weeks away. Presidential candidates are stumping in swing states today. Former President Donald Trump is going to meet with faith leaders in Georgia and then hold a rally in the state later. Vice President Harris will participate in a town hall with undecided voters in Pennsylvania, hosted by CNN. Britain's deputy prime minister has denied accusations by Donald Trump's campaign that her party broke the law by supporting Vice President Harris in the U.S. election. As Robbie Griffiths reports, the Trump campaign accuses the ruling Labour Party of foreign interference.
Speaking in the British Parliament, Deputy Prime Minister Angela Rayner played down accusations by Trump's campaign, saying Labour volunteers followed the rules by using their spare time to help his presidential rival, Vice President Kamala Harris.
It happens in all political parties. People go and campaign and they do what they want to do in their own time with their own money.
Rayner was reacting to news that a lawyer from Trump's team had filed a complaint to the Federal Election Commission, alleging that Labour was financially supporting campaigners who have travelled to the US to support Harris. Earlier, UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer also talked down the row, claiming he has what he called a good relationship with Trump. For NPR News, I'm Robbie Griffiths in London.
People in the U.S. are stressed out about the general election. NPR's Katia Riddle tells us that's according to a new report from the American Psychological Association.
The report shows that 7 out of 10 adults say the future of the nation is a significant source of stress in their lives. Specifically, they are fearful about political violence after the election. Lane Bufka is with the American Psychological Association.
And it cuts across respondents in terms of age, in terms of gender, in terms of political party affiliation. So it's something, unfortunately, that in some ways is uniting us.
Conversely, 3 out of 5 people say they are hopeful about the election outcome. Bufka says the findings show that 2 seemingly contradictory things can be true at once. Katie Riddle, NPR News.
On Wall Street, the Dow is down nearly 300 points. It's NPR.
Support for NPR comes from NPR stations. Other contributors include the Nature Conservancy, working across oceans and isles to cut carbon emissions, protect lands and waters, and support local communities for a future where people and nature thrive. Nature.org/solutions.
This is CPR News. I'm Mike Lamb. Denver's massive redevelopment of the parking lots around Ball Arena involved a lot of negotiating with the community. Denverite's Andrew Kenny says the 6,000-unit project will take about 25 years.
So the Kroenke organization, for well over a year, negotiated with all these different groups, from neighborhood groups to other institutions around the area, to find out from them what would it take for them to be okay with this major new development. So from the looks of it, the community was able to, in exchange for their support, get a lot of specific benefits. It seems that was important in convincing council members to go along with this plan.
Denverite's Andrew Kenny. In Adams County, domestic violence fatalities fell from 17 to 5 in just 1 year. District Attorney Brian Mason says that's tied to efforts in his community to understand the level of danger a survivor is facing from their abuser. Adams is one of 36 counties with a domestic violence high-risk team, and soon they'll have a family justice center.
When we require a domestic violence victim to go to multiple locations and travel hundreds of miles and use hundreds of hours, we put them at greater risk. And a family justice center eliminates that risk.
The centers are where survivors can get help when escaping domestic violence. In El Paso County, sheriff's deputies could get a raise. Sheriff Joe Roybal made the funding request to county commissioners Tuesday. If it's approved, the sheriff's salary would not be among those that increase. There's more news at CPR.org. This is CPR News.
Support comes from Miles High Con, a Colorado literary science fiction and fantasy convention featuring 100 authors and artists. October 25th through 27th at the Marriott DTC. Learn more at milehighcon.org.
Many thanks to Intermountain Health for its financial support. Learn more at intermountainhealth.org. You can learn more about the hundreds of organizations that sponsor Colorado Public Radio on the support page at cpr.org.
This is Colorado Matters from CPR News and KRCC. I'm Ryan Warner. A Ukrainian couple with 3 kids fled the Russian invasion. Now they run a bike shop in Boulder, something I learned when I walked in to buy a bike.